actually playing an actual football game, bowl prep, so guys are fresh. You kind of got that itch. You want to be back on the field and really hit someone.
When this game was announced,
did you notice you're from Kentucky?
The demeanor change?
Well, I'm actually from Indianapolis, but everyone thinks I'm from Kentucky. All my family's from there. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So obviously you guys have a lot of Ohio guys on the team.
Yeah, the quarterback room was pretty excited, to say the least, about the opportunity to play against the mighty in-state Ohio State Buckeyes, which. I mean, obviously, when you grow up in the state of Ohio, there's no bigger thing than the Buckeyes, and and I think those guys, they grew up going to their games. They grew up, in the recruiting process, going to games of theirs. They understand the magnitude of that program. They understand the respect that program has garnered over the last, particularly over the last, 4 or 5 years with what coach has done. So they were really excited about the opportunity, but I had to remind them this isn't about the in-state school. This is about a football game, and it's about preparation. And they've done a great job of transitioning back into the mindset of preparing for a great game against a great opponent, and putting forth their best effort.
You have, with Ohio State now going to play without their top 2 defensive tackles. They're still going to play with guys in there.
Correct.
There is a change. How would that maybe in any way affect a plan?
So you from here?
Inside, that's a different type of player.
Right.
Are you living out here now, or you just okay?
No, you guys know, especially you that have followed the Buckeye program. I mean, they have 5-star, 4-star players up and down their roster. So it's not like they're gonna be at a complete disadvantage with the next man in. And honestly, we've been going through that the whole year as well. They have too over the last couple of years. They've found a way to incorporate that next man in philosophy. So we anticipate that the next couple guys in there will be just as good, but they're going to be fresh. They're going to have an opportunity to show what they're all about. Seeing a couple of these guys on tape, and even the guy that's not even, I think he's listed as like the 4th or 5th D tackle, Tracy Sprinkle. He's a heck of a ball player, unbelievable player. So there's guys that you see mix in there. Joel Hale. There's guys that you see that have played a lot of meaningful snaps for the Buckeyes, or are just incredible young talents, and we've had a chance to watch those guys on tape.
Prepare for one team, and
there is a chance he might play inside.
Guys are flying around. We were able to go live. Break, and you can tell guys are ready, and now it's real. It's normal, intense Tuesday today, and it's game week.
And then for you, how different is this? Knowing this is the last ride. How is this week maybe different for you?
Well, I mean, the guy's going to wreck. He's going to wreak havoc no matter where he's at. I mean, that's who he is. And the reason he does that is because he plays with incredible effort and he has incredible athleticism. He's a guy that, with his length, his power, generally you see those guys being a little bit more stiff, and he has zero stiffness in his game. And then you combine that with the fact that he's always straining to get that second, third effort component of the play. That's where he gets those devastating hits on quarterbacks. Whether they show up as statistical sacks or not, those hits on quarterbacks add up. And we understand that the ball's got to get out. We understand that we can't sit there and read the Declaration of Independence back there in the pocket. We got to make quick decisions, and certainly number 97 kind of forces your hand in that area.
The first week or two of practice, you can really go back to fundamentals, go back to basics, and work almost like you're in camp or spring ball. You work on that technique, and you watch the film, and really self-improve, self-scout yourself.
I just think the balance that we've played with all year, I think that's going to be incredibly important for us to get get Deshaun in rhythm early. Be really important, especially against the pass rush that we're going to face. I think getting our running backs going early, getting both CJ and Josh Adams greased up, ready to go, and having them get into some form of rhythm and flow. Everything's going to start up front. Every game that we've played in this year, we've won games based on how great the offensive line plays. Those guys just so unselfish. Just play with such great effort. And that's what you look forward to. When you watch the film the day after the game, 2 days after the game, you look forward to watching those battles between Ronnie Stanley and Bosa, and seeing Mike McGlinchey and Bosa, and seeing what Tracy Sprinkle, how he matches up against Quentin Nelson, stuff of that nature that you really look forward to. Games can be won and lost, won or lost in the trenches, and we got to get our quarterback going as well.
talk about that battle between Bosa and Ronnie Stanley. This two guys that could go day one in the NFL draft. How do you see that battle going?
I think it's going to be an incredible battle. Those guys are as good of players as there are in college football. The film speaks to it. The measurements speak to it. You tune in on draft day. Both their names are going to be called really early, and I think those are the kind of battles that you look forward to. I think there's some incredible players in this game. On both sides of the ball, both teams. They're going to be early picks in the draft, both this year, next year, and the year after. And I think there's the two best defensive players in all of college football. Are playing in this game as well with Jalen Smith and with Bosa. So, they're going to move him around. It won't be just isolated strictly on Ronnie and him. Steve Elmer will get a shot at him. Quentin Nelson will get a shot at him. Mike McGlinchey will get a shot at him. So, he's going to be ready to go, and we're prepping to really do a good job against him.
Just under 2 minutes, please.
You were in a much different situation at quarterback in the spring. But talking to your QB just a few minutes ago, he said he felt like he was going to be the starter. He kind of knew he was going to head down that path. Did you sense that?
I did. After the spring game, he was like, he was like one of 3 for like -2 yards and a sack and a safety. Didn't have a great performance, if you will, but. After the game, he sent me a text message and he said, "Coach, I needed to hit rock bottom because I'm going to do everything in my power to come back and I'm going to compete to be the starter." And at the time, you're sitting there reading that text message, you're like, not based off what I just saw. but then he that's the thing about it. I mean, I've coached a lot of kids that will send that kind of a text message or say those kinds of words and not back it up with their preparation. And he changed his body completely in the off season. He shed about, I think, a 9% body fat. And his physical preparation was off the charts. His confidence in what he was doing from a throwing standpoint were so much improved, and we really saw that as camp wore on, that this is a guy that we could win games with, and that we would feel very comfortable with the game on the line with this kid playing.
Just talking to him, that is a charismatic guy. Comes across pretty quickly that he's a cerebral kind of guy.
Yeah.
Is he just the total package? Is he everything you kind of want him to be?
Yeah, I mean, he's got so many God-given abilities, both personality, physical stature, athleticism. But the key for him is now and always will be his continued development. And he is so humble. And if he does continue to do a good job remembering that, the separation for him's got to be in the way he prepares. And that's if we use that as our calling card, his future is extremely bright, both in this level and hopefully someday in the next.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.